I've spent most of my professional life investigating brokers, real and fake, honest and deceitful, but what I've uncovered about Dencap FX goes beyond ordinary financial fraud. It's not just another scam pretending to be a broker, it's something much darker, a carefully constructed illusion, a psychological manipulation factory disguised as a trading platform. Every time I dig into this company, I find another layer of lies, another broken promise, another story from someone who trusted them and lost everything. And it's not just about money. It's about the way they destroy people's confidence, their trust in themselves, and in the very idea that financial markets can be fair. The first thing that hits you about Dencap FX is how professional it looks. The website gleams with the usual buzzwords: licensed, secure, regulated, transparent. The tone is corporate, the design clean, the promises convincing. They speak about empowering traders, cutting-edge technology, and AI-driven analytics. It's the perfect bait for anyone dreaming of taking control of their finances. You feel like you're stepping into a serious financial environment. But the truth, the real unfiltered truth, is that Dencap FX is built entirely on deception. Behind the glossy design is a den of professional manipulators who've turned stealing into a business model. I started getting letters about Dencap FX last year. At first it was just one or two. People unsure, asking for advice, but within months it turned into a wave. Each story sounded painfully similar. Someone saw an ad online promising simple, profitable forex trading. They clicked. A friendly consultant called within hours. "You don't need to be an expert," they said. "We'll guide you step by step." The victims told me that the agents were charming, patient, and convincing. Too convincing. They spoke with authority, always sounding like they genuinely wanted to help. That's how Dencap FX hooks you. They start with friendliness, they earn your trust, and then they pull you in deeper. The first deposit is small, $200, maybe $300. They make sure your account grows immediately. You see fake profits in your Dencap FX dashboard, numbers that climb higher every day. The platform looks active. Live charts, blinking trades, even support agents available 24/7. Everything feels real. You're told you're doing great, that you have potential, that you could make a serious income if you just invest more. And when people do, when they send their savings, their bonuses, their borrowed money, that's when the real nightmare starts. The moment someone tries to withdraw, the tone changes. Suddenly, the once friendly advisors become cold and distant. Emails go unanswered, calls stop. Then come the excuses. Your account is under review. You must pay a withdrawal fee. We need to verify your identity again. There's a delay from the payment processor. It's a script, one I've seen 100 times before. The purpose is simple: to buy time, to squeeze more money out of you, to make you desperate. One man wrote to me saying he spent weeks emailing back and forth with Dencap FX, thinking he was just one form away from getting his money back. They told him to pay a final clearance tax to release his funds. He did. The next day, his login stopped working. I've read so many versions of that same tragedy that I could recite it from memory. One woman told me she lost her husband's pension fund, every dollar of it, because Dencap FX convinced her to leverage her account for maximum profit. They even congratulated her when she deposited more. "You're making a smart financial move," they said. When she realized it was all fake, she told me she couldn't sleep for weeks. Another victim, a young guy trying to start trading on the side, said he was so embarrassed he didn't tell anyone. "They made me believe I was doing something smart," he wrote. "Now I feel like an idiot." That's the emotional devastation that this company leaves behind. Shame, guilt, and silence. What's even more horrifying is how systematic Dencap FX is. This isn't a handful of scammers improvising in some call center. This is a coordinated operation. They're brokers, read from scripts. Their websites are cloned versions of other scams, and their reviews are fake. If you Google them, you'll see 5-star testimonials, all written by the scammers themselves or by marketing firms hired to flood search results with lies. But real reviews of Dencap FX, the ones written by victims, are buried, deleted, or drowned under paid SEO campaigns. It's a full-time business of deceit. Even their technical setup is a masterpiece of manipulation. The Dencap FX trading interface is designed to mimic legitimate platforms, complete with realistic charts and market movements. But those numbers don't reflect the real market. They're controlled entirely by the scammers. They can make your balance go up or down whenever they want, depending on what will keep you depositing. One victim sent me screenshots showing a sudden margin call that wiped out his entire account. right after he refused to invest more. Coincidence? Not a chance. I've looked at their supposed licenses, too. All fake. The documents are photoshopped, with unverifiable registration numbers and made-up financial authorities. They claim to be based in London or Zurich or Singapore, but when you trace their addresses, they lead to virtual offices or empty buildings. Their phone numbers are VoIP lines that disappear within days. Every part of Dencap FX is smoke and mirrors. And then there's the emotional manipulation. They don't just steal your money. They mess with your mind. They make you feel responsible for losing it. They tell you that if you had just followed their advice better, if you had just trusted them one more time, everything would have been fine. They twist the guilt back onto the victim. I've seen this pattern over and over. People apologizing to the very criminals who robbed them. It's sickening. Dencap FX preys on hope. They know exactly who to target. Retirees, first-time traders, people going through tough times. They advertise on social media with slogans like work from home, earn your freedom, trade your way to success. It's always the same poison wrapped in new packaging, and when they finally steal your money, they move on to the next person without hesitation. The worst part? They often come back pretending to be a recovery company offering to help victims get their money back. For a small fee, of course. That's the final insult. They scam you twice. Once with lies and once with false hope. I've been doing this job long enough to recognize patterns, and Dencap FX follows the blueprint of every major financial scam I've ever investigated. But they do it better. They're smarter, slicker, and crueler. They've perfected the art of appearing legitimate while robbing you blind. So here's my message to anyone even thinking about signing up with Dencap FX. Don't. Don't believe the friendly calls, the fake success stories, the polished website. Don't think you'll be the smart one who gets in and out with a profit. Nobody does. Every single person who's trusted this so-called broker Dencap FX has ended up with the same result. Empty accounts, empty promises, and a deep sense of betrayal. If you're already involved with them, get out while you still can. Don't send another dollar, don't click another link, and don't believe a word they say. Report them, block them, warn others. Because the only way to stop a scam like Dencap FX is by shining a light on it. I didn't lose money to these people, but I've read enough stories to know exactly what kind of destruction they leave behind. And I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Dencap FX is not a broker, not a trading company, not an investment opportunity. It's a predator in a tailored suit, built to hunt trust and feed on hope. Every button on that site, every word on their homepage, every advisor on the phone, all of it exists for one reason, to take your money and vanish. So if you ever come across the name Dencap FX, remember this. They don't want you to trade. They want you to believe. And once you believe, they win. Don't give them that chance. Not for a dollar, not for a dream. Lost money with a broker? Find out how to get it back. Contact us at watchdogonline@proton.me. Leave your name and phone number so we can get back to you. The Watchdog Online team stands guard over your safety. Together, we will make the internet better.